Here, David Rudiman now trying to go through the middle.
Wow, can Rudiman close in behind Hamilton and take the spot away from Skinner on the outside?
Looks like he did. What a terrific race here.
When you're screaming around a track at 180 miles an hour, you've got to keep your eyes open, the wheel steady, and your mind alert. It's the same when you're driving in everyday traffic. Well, maybe the speeds are different, and it's definitely not a race, but the same rules apply every time you get behind the wheel. Maybe you're just starting out, or maybe you've been driving for a while. Either way, it's good to know the basics. The basics will serve you well out on the highway.
You want to give it a shot?
Let's go.
Okay, let's
Driving is a big step in becoming an adult. It gives you freedom, mobility, and independence. But with this freedom comes a new way of looking at things. You are now responsible for your life and the lives of others on the open road. Driving is a privilege, not a right. You earn the right to drive when you can demonstrate the knowledge, experience, and responsibility necessary. Over time, your skills will improve. The more you work at it, the more you will be at ease behind the wheel, safe and secure while you enjoy the pleasures of driving. As you probably know, there are age requirements for a driver's license, usually 16 or 17 in the US and Canada. And you will have to take a vision test and a road test. Many states have a graduated driver's license system. A graduated license still allows teenagers to obtain a learner's permit at the age of 16, but reserves full license privileges until the age of 18. With a learner's permit, you must be supervised by a qualified licensed driver for the first year. This permit is also necessary for any practice driving on public roads. Learning to drive is a hands-on experience. No one can do it for you. You have to get out there and try it, but it's important to have someone nearby to help you out when you need it. So get a family member or friend to teach you. You might also consider a paid driving instructor. Find a large, flat, vacant parking lot to practice. Be certain to have your licensed driver in the passenger seat to provide supervision when you drive. Whatever car you choose to drive while practicing, make sure you are covered by vehicle insurance, either from your own policy or through the policy of the person who owns the vehicle. Another thing you should bring to your first practice drive, a good attitude. Be ready to learn, to observe, and to be patient and cooperative on the road. As an inexperienced driver, your first years on the road are your most dangerous. These statistics are sobering. Motor vehicle crashes are the leading cause of death for 15 to 20-year-olds. Almost a third of drivers aged 15 to 20 who died in motor vehicle crashes had been drinking alcohol. Teens are more likely than older drivers to speed, run red lights, and drive after using alcohol or drugs. And teens have the lowest rate of seatbelt use compared with other age groups. All these statistics point to the same conclusion. Young drivers often ignore the most basic rules of the road. As a beginning driver, it is easy to move from fear to overconfidence. Beginning drivers need to proceed slowly and carefully, not only during their first drive, but during their first years on the road. Driving a car is not for children. It is for young adults ready for the responsibilities and privileges of driving. Inexperience can be overcome with practice, but a responsible attitude should be yours before you ever get in the driver's seat. All of this may be new to you, but you will develop a routine so that each time you get into your car, this checklist will be second nature. Fasten your seatbelts. This is the first thing you want to do when you get into any vehicle. This should already be a habit. Most injuries in car accidents are due to the occupants of a vehicle not using their seatbelts. And accidents are more likely to happen on the way to the mall than on a cross-country trip. So buckle up on every trip, even around your neighborhood. Your car may have airbags installed as well, but this doesn't replace the need for seatbelts. Look at the massive headrest on this seat, plus a 6-point safety harness to keep you strapped in. You need all these in case of an accident in a NASCAR race. Seatbelts are equally important in your own vehicle. They could be the difference between life and death. There are a few more things you need to do before you start the car. Check the mirrors. You have 3 of them, 2 side view mirrors and 1 rear view mirror overhead. Make sure that your left view mirror allows you to see a small portion of your own door as well as the car to the left and back of you. The right side view mirror should also allow you to see a car to the right and back of you. Your headlights and windshield wipers help you to see and be seen. Know where the controls are so you can find them when you need them. Test your turn signals. Find the horn on the steering wheel and test it. You have gauges for gas, engine temperature, and coolant level, a tachometer, a speedometer, and gauges for the battery and oil. The exact layout will vary from car to car, but they all cover pretty much the same bases. Let's look at your gear selector. It may be on the floor or on the steering column. For an automatic, it should be set to P for park. For a manual transmission car, it should be in neutral, so you should be able to move the stick from the left to the right. Check your parking brake. On some vehicles, this is a lever in the center of the car with a button that you press to release it. On other vehicles, you'll find a lever on the left of the steering wheel near the footwell that you pull up to disengage the brakes. Take hold of the steering wheel. Put one hand on each side of the wheel. Try your hands at the 10 and 2 position. This means you imagine your steering wheel as the face of a clock. Put your left hand where 10 would be and your right where 2 would be. The 10 and 2 position is kind of the normal thing everybody likes to go with. Nice and comfortable, nice and relaxed. This right here is the way to go. Hand over top of the steering wheel, wrist on top of it. It's not going to do the job. You need to have both hands on the wheel in case you have to make an evasive driving maneuver. This setup enables you to react quickly and decisively when you need to. Now, look down and with your right foot, find the brake pedal on the left and the gas pedal on the right. One foot can handle both because you never want to press the gas pedal and the brake